So today I am joined with Julie Toskan. She is the CEO of Genius 100, and she is also a co-founder of MAC Cosmetics. So Julie, can you tell us a little bit about who you are and your role in the makeup and business industry?
Oh, wow. So again, my name is Julie. I'm from Toronto, Canada, born and raised, where at the age of, I guess I was just leaving high school, my brother and his partner decided to start a cosmetics company. And I was dating someone who was studying chemistry at our University of Toronto. And my brother said to him one day, "Hey, how hard could it be to make a lipstick?" And they sort of started from there, and the discovery started there. We grew this business into something that I think was beyond what we'd ever expected. A huge part of that was our MAC AIDS Fund, which involved creating awareness and money for people living with HIV and AIDS. And it was probably, for me, it was one of the proudest things that I accomplished while we were at MAC. Then I went on to start a family foundation and developed a youth giving program. So it is a program, it's a curriculum that we've written that goes into high schools that gets young people involved in philanthropy at a grassroots level. So they go out and they visit local organizations and they decide where money that we grant to the schools should go, what charities it should go to based on the research they've done.
So how are you involved in the event today?
When Ido had asked me to participate in this conference, I thought, the new diplomacy, what is that exactly? And I looked it up. I had to look it up. And I thought, okay, it's about people getting more involved in things. So I thought, hey, that's right up my alley. And that's definitely what I encourage, is awareness around policies, injustices. And currently, now I'm working for an organization called Genius 100, which brings together an array of exceptional people doing wonderful things in the world. It includes Nobel laureates, philanthropists, people in the education sciences, research. We bring these people together and help them develop their ideas. We try and connect them with investors. We try and connect them with fellow philanthropists or people that are looking to be connected to the types of things that they're looking to do. And we help grow their ideas into big ones.
And do you think that there's more positives to the new diplomacy, or would you say that it's more sort of negative?
I think it's definitely positive. If we want to see change, we have to make it happen. And we have to learn for new ways to communicate to people that keep up with, that sort of keep up with the times. So I think the new diplomacy is more reflective of what's happening now. Like, be current and, aware of how everything is happening. Be a good listener. Like, some of the conversations the presenters that were speaking this morning were great. Like, there were little, tidbits of information that I took out of every one. There was one thing that I really liked. I think it was Nicholas that referred to it. And he said, being good is more important than being strong or being rich. And that really resonated with me because I thought that applies to people. I mean, being good is more important than being strong or being rich. Sometimes the simplest things are just the strongest. They have, so much meaning.
So how do you think the new diplomacy has sort of changed, and how has social media kind of affected this change?
Social media is tricky. I feel like it has created almost too much information for people. In many ways, it's important and it's relevant, and it keeps us all, up to speed on what's happening where, and it allows us to learn about specific things that we're really interested in and to be in the moment and be up to date. But in other ways, I find social media, it's a little bit distracting because there is so much going on. It's almost like too much information and people don't know what to listen to. They're not sure who's being truthful, who isn't being truthful. And it doesn't really allow people, I think, to think for themselves. They're getting a lot of direction as to how they should be thinking. In balance, I think it's great. I think in putting a lot of thought into how you use it or how you take in that information. But oftentimes, and I see it mostly with young people, it's a lot of noise and a lot of distraction. But I think that people get better about managing their time, who they follow, what they're wanting to learn. So I think it has its ups and its downs.
So what's your best piece of advice for a young entrepreneur?
whether you're starting a business, working on a project, doing YPI, I think you have to follow your passion. You have to follow what really, really matters to you. It's not about getting this degree or that degree or making this much money. None of that matters if you're not passionate about what you're doing. I would go into work happily every single day. It became not about work. I was being allowed to follow my passion. Same thing happened with the youth program that I developed. And again, now with the organization that I'm working with, people almost don't believe me when I say, I wake up every morning and I can't wait to get to work. But it's true. But that's because I'm following something that I'm really, really passionate about. And I did have a lull. There was I spoke about it a little bit this morning, that, testing the early semi-retirement waters. And it was a couple of years of not knowing exactly what I wanted to do, and I hadn't quite figured out that feeling, but when I did, I knew, okay, that's what I'm going to go for. I've learned over the years not to do something unless you're incredibly passionate about it.
So is there any student project that really stands out to you?
What I really love about about YPI, the youth initiative that we do, is that we hear all sorts of scenarios from teachers that tell us about students who maybe English is their second language, who have never presented in front of a group before, actually get up, and because they have to present this presentation, and it's something they're passionate about. So they want to get over their fear of speaking in public, or their fear of English not being their first language, and they will stand up to defend a grant for an organization that they really care about. And that always really sort of stands out to me. Or the kids that have said to me, they've said, we used to walk by homeless people on the street and just think, why don't they just get a job? What are they doing there? They're lazy. They don't care. They don't want to work. And now that they're learning more about why someone might be homeless, and it could involve mental illness, it could involve them being abused at home. There are all sorts of other things that would have impacted this homeless person's life. The young people have developed a greater level of compassion towards them. And for me, with the youth program, I hope that we really are helping grow compassionate communities. And it sounds almost like a really simple thing, but it's huge, and it's incredibly meaningful, I think, to the betterment of those communities and how people work together.